Hey Noy, can you hear me? I'll add you to the stream just a second. Hey Noy, can you hear me? I'll add you to the stream just a second. Here we go. Are you there?
I am, yeah. Can you hear me?
Awesome. Let me turn the sound down on the iPad. Just get that done out the way. Here we go. Welcome.
Right, yeah. Thank you.
9 p.m. there, isn't it?
It's 9 o'clock, yeah. 9 p.m.
Wow, and our day is just starting.
Yeah, I know. It's exciting. Yeah.
It is.
What you can do these days.
I'll just give it a couple of minutes to see if anybody's going to jump on the line, but it's a time of day, isn't it? Like early morning here, middle of the night in the US, a lot of the US, and then it's the tail end of your day. So hopefully, if people are going to dive on, they'll watch the replay and then just drop us some comments or questions if there's anything for you, and then we can answer them offline, obviously, afterwards. Have you had a good day, Noy?
Yeah, been fantastic. Yeah, very busy, but good busy. Like a lot of things smashed and done, and yeah, I can definitely not complain. Had a good day.
Nice. So yeah, I'll do a bit of a background intro to you, and then we'll jump into some questions. And business has got to be fun. I always like to try and make it fun rather than just, a structured, serious set of questions. So we're going to drop some bits in there that may go into your personal life. We shall see. So you now live in New Zealand. You're an Israeli. You've lived in London. I don't know about any other countries, but you're a real globetrotter and obviously love travel. So you found a nice lifestyle now in New Zealand. You've worked in the finance sector in London and other things. Now you are in the affiliate marketing space and the online marketing space. Tell us a bit more about your background. How did you stumble into online marketing?
Wow, yeah. So first, yeah, I used to live in the UK 13 years. I lived in Manchester for about 6 and a bit in York for half a year, actually.
Nice.
And then I lived in London for the last 7 years that I was in the UK. My background, well, I did so many things. I started back in the day in IT, and that's what I studied at the University of Manchester. And I was in the industry for like 2 years, and I was quite good at what I do, but I was not fulfilled by it. And the starting days, I was getting paid all right. I even got I climbed the ranks fairly quickly. I swapped a few jobs, maybe for better pay and stuff like that. I even worked as a contractor for a financial firm in Liverpool, commuting from Manchester, which was tiring. Yeah, it was. That's nothing, man. There was a period I commuted from York to Oldham, which is far worse. I had to leave at like 5 a.m. or something to get to work. Like it was absolutely nuts. But that was like between moving cities and until we got that sorted. But yeah, I think you have to remind me the question. Like sometimes I go on the tangent.
Yeah, that's fine. No, it's just how did you stumble onto the online space?
So yeah, good one. So for about 8 years, I would say 8 years between 2011 and 2019, I tried a lot of things online, and they all had a sort of feel of affiliate marketing in one way or another. Some of them were being like a brokerage to connect businesses to other businesses and cut a commission from that. That wasn't like online business per se, but it was using a website, but I was kind of like maybe like probably really naive. I was going for I had a drive, but I didn't know how to actually go about it. So I was going for business for breakfast meetings, which I don't know, you probably heard of all those BNI, B4B meetings, all those. I even got quite a lot of invitations for free, and then business cards and follow up, and I sat with people from all sorts of like industries. And then one of them exposed me to self-development. I built a website for her because that's one of the other things I was doing in IT. And she gave me coaching in return, kind of like a barter kind of thing.
Nice.
And it just somehow rolled to me starting a lot of self-development and even getting to lead self-development seminars in Manchester and London for like 4 years. I was married in marriage that didn't work. So I'm now married for the second time. And not a lot of people know that, but my first one lasted like 2 years.
Wow.
And I'm glad to report that with my current wife, I'm from 2012. But what happened is I tried a lot of things, but I kind of like never owned them. And from one thing to another, when I left IT after just 2 years in the industry back in 2012, I went and I was in sort of limbo because my visa ran out. I had to go back to Israel. But then I didn't see clearly what I want to do yet. So I actually went and did an MSc, like a second degree in business, which I'm thankful for, but I wasn't really passionate about. I did that like in order to, because I was like, no chance, like the woman I met like a year and something before, no chance like I'm giving on this relationship. So I kind of like, that was like my way to my ticket back to the UK. So I met great people. It was back in London, evening studies. Like it's like completely different worlds and the type of people and ages, and it was quite a quirky course. But then when I was facing what to do, I saw an ad for journalism, and that's one of the things I was doing. I used to have like a football website in Israel. You see how it all links. It's a long story, but it all kind of like puzzles together. I used to have like a fan football site, which was quite good. We sold SMS subscriptions. We sold content to other websites, like to news outlets. We got paid to travel to Europe to cover UEFA Cup matches. Now Europa League.
Nice.
I don't know how much you know football, but
I love football.
The second tier European competition for the people that don't know. So that was like 2007, 8, when I was traveling to Portugal and Bulgaria and seeing really lousy quality football matches, but enjoying the experience. And, on the sidelines, like I was basically the man that doing it all, like reporting, taking the shots, like was a good time. And then because this is something I've done, but I've never done it with professional qualification. I've got my tea here. I jumped on. I saw this ad for a journalism course which was kind of like a fast track 20 week, which was like, wow, can I do something like that is like literally on steroids, like 20 weeks rather than doing another degree? And I went for an interview, and I don't know, I don't think my English is like the worst, and I've studied in England and I've studied English since the age of 6 and all that. So obviously, well, not the accent and that kind of thing. Although some people in Israel say I've got like a local English accent. Everyone in England thinks I'm French. They said that the pace of that course is probably not for me. But they referred me. They told me try this one. We do a lot of work with that course, and they referred me to St Mary's University in Twickenham. There I went, and I did my third degree in my lifetime. Second, I did an MA in sports journalism. That's basically what got me back into writing and finding my passion. So all of that is not affiliate marketing straight away, but what happened as a result, I was writing for the London Economic, I was writing for the Sport Gazette. I did mainly featured style stories because I like to talk, as you notice. So in my posts and stuff, I prefer the long form, even though it take a lot of time. I quite like that stuff because I get to express more of who I am, and I was never like the best at summarizing. That's kind of like maybe my downfall. I'm getting better by the day, but I did fairly good. I got the everything shorthand we had to do. For the life of me, I cannot do shorthand properly, like at the speed that required, like
Sure.
120 words a minute. But I did everything apart that. So, and I did a sports documentary about the Israeli rugby team, which is a 15-minute documentary. It's still on YouTube.
Wow.
I've created a Facebook group for it, like for a page, and that was really buzzing. That was like September 2015 when I created it. I filmed it in London, Czech Republic, and in Israel because there was a game that I traveled and all that. But that was an amazing experience because that opened me for the writing. So I went and I worked for a colleague of mine, like a friend that was also leading self-development programs in London. He's he still has that business. It's a health and fitness startup, and we worked in Pop Brixton, which is a container area of Brixton in London, in South London. There are a lot of you could look it up, guys. I mean, maybe some of you know. It has a lot of really chic, cool, like restaurants and like clothing shops, and
Yeah.
there's even a New Zealand wine shop there. Surprise, surprise.
Wow.
Yeah. And I worked like I was working far, far below par in terms of how much I get, but that was kind of like my entry ticket. Like, I mean, he's a great guy. I totally understand. I learned a lot of stuff, but I had to move on. So I went, and then my the last salary job that I worked was the one that I moved to afterwards, and I worked for them for 3 years. It's a sport betting company in Kennington. Um, we even managed to move 7 minutes to where I work.
Nice.
Was like amazing because I could literally like walk there in 7 minutes, and that was like fabulous. Because the hours were, I mean, not like the bankers do, but it was like 8 to 6, so that was still longer than the 9 to 5. Um, so and I started as a marketing assistant. I was never like proofreading is not my thing. I was more like I was not even really proofreading. I was writing um, some of the marketing emails, kind of like similar stuff to what I did with that guy's health and fitness business. With him,
Right.
we did a lot of social media. Like we did like videos, like wacky ones. Like we did like push-ups on Christmas Eve, like dressed like in Christmas gear, like and just random locals came to us and put a beer on my back, like it's like, but we enjoyed it. It was like what we did like a 12 days of fitness. It was called. So that was. I'm jumping around, but it's all like those like good stuff. Like, and there I
Awesome.
learned about like creating like quality content, like engaging content, like generating engagement, all those kind of things. Um, and when I worked for as a marketing assistant, and then I was promoted to a digital marketing executive with a company, I had more responsibility and more analysis, and it started really well. And but then at some point, um, I wouldn't speak about specific individual and stuff, but I found the environment really like overly macho. Maybe it's because it's betting and gambling, and I like sports. Like, I mean, like that was like as a job, it's perfect for me because
Yeah.
being in London, I got to write mostly about football, but also cricket, which is my second favorite sport. Being married to a Kiwi, um, and rugby, which is what I've done my sport documentary on. So that was like sort of like my third one. And I wrote about like some stuff that I don't really know much, but I had to research, like golf and snooker and all sorts like that, and the horse racing. So there was a lot of collaboration with other people that knew more about the punting side of those. Because our emails were like we had to weave in the prices in the emails, so it's not just like Man United play Liverpool today is going to be a great match. Not in this world, right? Something a lot better, right?
Yeah.
But we had to weave the prices in because it's all about I'm joking with my wife at the time about it. Like my job was to get people sick because of gambling, and she's a nurse, so her job was to make people better. So I had to get people to gamble more because I'm a marketing in the gambling industry. So, and also in some respect, that thing alone didn't align with my values. So I was kind of like getting tired of all this and the macho environment and all these, like literally 90% of the company men, which, you know, there's nothing wrong with it. Like, but I don't know. There's been a lot of stuff that happened in there that were not favorable, and a lot of like lies and backstabbing and all sorts. So, long story short, been quite a rough 10 last month. I was actually diagnosed with with anxiety and depression, and you know, just yeah, I was. I eventually they placed me on garden leave. Now that happened in August, 11 months ago. In 2 weeks, it would be exactly a year or so since it happened. But already, what happened is because we knew we're moving to New Zealand in November 2019, because I knew we have a trip coming. Like we were away for 5 weeks in between moving. Like after we had a trip booked, and that trip changed dates a couple of times, but and it ended up being around. It was supposed to be October 11th, so, and it moved to a week after. But so what I knew is that by 10th or so of August, I have to resign anyway. You see? So what I did is, because it was getting so unbearable already, like already in July, I resigned like 24th of July, literally a year and a week ago. I resigned on a day, but I had 2 months notice. So what they did is they didn't want me there anymore. So they paid me 6 of those weeks that left to sit at home. That was like the best thing that ever happened to me. Like, well, I mean, I'm probably exaggerating. Like, in considering what was the environment like, and like this was amazing. Like, because like I didn't want to be there, right? Like, this is the last thing I wanted. Like, so that was like an amazing resolution, because I thought it would totally like chop me off. Like, and maybe I have to take them to a tribunal, and then who could be bothered, because I have a trip and I'm leaving the country 5 weeks after. Like, what a headache, you know? But what the other thing that's propelled that is towards. So I've done all this writing throughout, like even as a boy, like I was going like and printing. My mom had an office, and I used to waste the money with a photocopier, like photocopying to my classmates, like short articles about football. And I just don't know if I did that to impress people or because I just love writing. So I just did whatever I can write. I just want to write, like you know, yeah. And so that worked pretty well in my job when the environment was favorable. But then, you know, when things not starting going well, I had to take matters to my hand. I had to look for something else. Around June last year, 2019, I found a few courses. I bought one thing that I almost immediately regretted because I didn't think much of it. But then I saw the emails that guys sending me. I was kind of like sort of in conversation with support that I don't like the product, that I want a refund, and then they were like, we don't have like a no question and ask policy about refunds. Like, it's only if you have like if you try the system and if you can show us when it was like a technical, you know, glitch or something is not working for whatever reason. And I didn't like that to begin with. But then I realized that like I was following that guy's email, and he's like a super affiliate. Like I can give his name, like, because I'm very thankful for he basically did it all for me. His name is Jason Fulton. You know, he's launching products left, right, and center. Like, he's got one coming like in like 2 days or so. He lives in Sydney, yeah. So that was, I don't know, like sort of lined up. Like he had this like super affiliate program at Bootcamp, I think, and it was about $300 like US, and I was like, I see the value in that, so I got that, and that was really like was starting to show me the skill. He was speaking there about like how to do reviews for launches, how to set up pages, like how to pick the right offers. And I was like, oh wow, like nobody ever showed me stuff like step by step like that way. And I met amazing people. Like a lot of time down the line, some people that were started their journey around the same time, I'm still friends with, and some of them are doing business with me these days in other things. So that really built all my foundation. But only when I said to support about the not the boot camp, because the boot camp was good. Took me a week that it was lying around until I implemented it. But as soon as I implemented it, which was 2 3 days after, I'm telling support, you know what, I'm going to make it work. So what I did is I just stopped bitching about the product. I just stopped like I I think it, I only realized it months after, and I've written many posts about it. I've crossed the line from being a consumer to being a partner by just saying I will stop bitching about the product, that this and that and that. By the way, I still don't think much of the product, but it's not the point. Like, I stop like wanting the refund, and I stop feeling, I cut off at tracks the feeling of entitlement, and everything turned. So when I started like the super affiliate bootcamp, I think it's called, like and properly, and I started sending, I started using solo ads instead of traffic. I had sales coming like immediately, and before that, 8 years, I didn't sell a single like penny, cent, nothing. No matter what I tried, offline, online, I wouldn't sell a thing. So that $5 something that I made on the 3rd of July 2019. Um, First thing I ever made online. That was like, whoa. And then, as part of the program, we were also getting a set amount of clicks included in the price, which is kind of like no brainer. When I sent them my link, like with the squeeze page and all that, like I got on the 3 days after I started, listen to this, 6th of July, and that was free because that was included. Those were the clicks that you get. Like I got $187 revenue. Like, and this was effectively free traffic because, well, not free, but this is the traffic promised you from the course.
Nice.
I was on the floor, like I was like, wow, like I'm only doing it like the 4th day, and like that, like, and I never looked back since. Like even though I've tried, like I've been using different methods, and probably you have some questions about that, like in various ways, and I evolved. I never looked back since that first sale and that first, I think it was a Saturday. Then I'm looking at my phone and I'm seeing, or waking up to like $187, like unheard of. And yeah, and that was when I knew I had to resign even sooner than that, because not only get it back, like was like what can be like I don't know what could be the worst thing. They cut me off like without any pay, like immediately, but I'm moving a country anyway. But they know I'm moving country because I told them I because of the relationship in the company, because I felt so hostile, I didn't tell anybody I'm moving until 3 days before I handed my notice, where I kind of like prompted them. And then 3 days after I handed my notice, because I was afraid it would be used against me, because I got to be so paranoid about the whole situation, and I did not trust anybody, and there was no foundation there. So yeah, so
that's an amazing backstory, and we're nearly halfway through the interview because I've got to be gone by 11 o'clock. So
I know.
We're going to have to really go through these questions now super fast. So
back to you.
I love that story, and love the background to how it all links into what you're doing now. So that's absolutely fantastic. Thank you for sharing that. The first question is, you've been in the online space for 8 years, and you must have seen drastic changes in that 8 years time. What do you think's changed in the last 8 years from then to now in the online marketing space?
Well, the main thing is that most of the opportunities, not all of them, right? But most of the opportunities tend to be more ethical. There's more awareness about what's considered a good opportunity and what not. Back in the day, in 2012, I remember the Empower Network, which one of the things I was trying, because what I was doing is I was trying for 2 or 3 months at a time, failing, quitting, leaving it for months, a year, 2 years, coming back. So I wasn't even trying all throughout the time. So I remember printing, the material looked good, but and maybe it wasn't the right time for me, but apparently I heard down the line that Power Network totally collapsed and a lot of people were conned and all that kind of thing, and it ended up being like a Ponzi, or I don't even know the whole story. Although some of the people that have been part of it are still around. One of them is actually doing super well, and I've got nothing against it personally. I know I think he also moved to some and he's doing it more ethically these days. So I think both vendors and people have more awareness, and also social media. I didn't really use Facebook back in the day for marketing because I was quite reserved and that kind of thing. But from everything I hear, there was more like it was easier to get people coming to you doing almost nothing. Now, I'm not saying it's hard these days. What I'm saying is you need to be strategic, and you need to have a plan, and you need to know how to work the algorithm and stuff like that. And back in the day, I hear that network marketing, affiliate marketing, you could post however you want. You could have added however many people you want back in the day. You could have it was kind of like a free for all kind of thing. And long gone those days. I think, but they already gone from about 2014, 15. But at the start of the previous decade, there were, there are a lot of people that made money using these methods, and yeah, I mean, maybe that's the only regret I have, that it didn't click for me soon enough. Yeah, but all good now.
Right, nice. So yeah, I think I agree. There's a lot more ethics around now than there was 10 years ago. Interesting story. I met Russell Brunson about 10 years ago, 9 years ago, in the UK, in a small place called Peterborough. He came on stage even before ClickFunnels was a thing, and I thought, this guy's got something. But I went off a different path and lived somewhere else, etc. And yeah, I didn't follow it up, but he's done quite well in the last 9 years. So yeah, it's become a lot more ethical and a lot better place now in the online space. I agree. Okay, next question then. You've moved to New Zealand, which is like the furthest place in the world from most other countries, and you've lived in London, other cities in the UK as well. What was the reason behind your move? Was it for the business reason? Was it for the lifestyle reason? Why did you move to New Zealand?
Well, one reason is that my wife lived outside New Zealand for 10 years. She's a Kiwi. She's from the South Island. So where we live now, you see, I don't have the best background. We are due to move to our first new house, bought house together, mid-September, which is a massive achievement. So at the moment, thank you. We live in with her parents, but that's okay if I get a threat of that knife behind me. So that's one big reason, because I was in New Zealand 3 times before moving here. I was in 2014, 16, and 17. And last time we were here in November, December 17, last before I moved, we've decided that we are moving. And we decided exactly the month, November 2019. And we said, time is so I can get more experience in my job, because back then I was only a year and a bit in it. And we can date a bit more. And we also had a dog back then. And so kind of we are more equipped and prepared and all that. But yeah, it's also propelled because of Brexit, and London is like really like too hustly bustly. Things are too fast for us, and or go too fast for us. Even though
Yeah.
we love, there are many advantages, and we lived most of the life in South London, like Elephant and Castle, Peckham, Kennington, and Leytonstone as well, which is completely the other side, like northeast. Um, and yeah, just lifestyle. New Zealand, like when it comes to houses, are a lot cheaper. Food is more expensive here. Um, Eating out is roughly about the same. So there are many like advantages of living here. So it's the combination of Brexit, lifestyle, and the fact that she is from New Zealand and she was, outside the country for 10 years. Yeah. So
Yeah, nice. And
yeah.
the other thing is, I think with the laptop lifestyle and being an online entrepreneur and business person, it can be anywhere in the world. You're not bound to a certain country or time zone.
Yeah, absolutely. When we decided that, I did not know I would be doing what I'm doing now, because we decided it like November 2017, 2 years before we moved. But yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's like the biggest and best advantage.
Yeah. Okay. So the next question is, there's a lot of people that we see a lot of screenshots and they're making money or they're reporting on team members making money. In the online space, Pareto's law says 80-20, 80% of people are, the average 20% are making money potentially. Do you think that percentage holds true for the online marketing space, or is it a lot fewer people that are making money? And why do people fail? There's a lot of people that do actually fail and give it up. In affiliate marketing and the online space, why do you think that is?
A lot less than 20% make money. Like money that will be more than, will most of people will give up before they make like even close to what will be enough for them to have their heads above the water.
Right.
Like that's I don't know. I would say maybe 95.5. This is from my feeling online. Maybe even 99.1. But let's give more people the benefit of the doubt. Reason is because people think it's a get rich quick scheme, like, or get rich quick thing, and they don't realize that it's a skill to learn, and you need to find the right mentor or coach or the right, the platform doesn't actually matter that much. I always say you could promote ice to the Eskimos, because if you find the right person and you train your mindset, like a big one,
Yeah.
in the right way with the right tools, and you learn the right skill. And by saying right, there's no single right for everyone. But like owning on one skill, on following one person, at least initially, on following one system, one way of doing stuff. A lot of people just jump, Monday they're doing this, Wednesday, like they give up on that system already. Some people I've noticed don't even remember they bought stuff. Like I had, like, and the thing is, because I started with email marketing and solo ads, I know people, like, because down the line I spoke to them on Facebook when I got around September, October last year. That's when I started using Facebook for my business. At the start, well, I was using it a bit from July, but like not at the level that I'm doing now. Um, and I've heard like some people have no idea how many products they bought, what product they bought. They're just serial buyers. Like, and like I was like, wow, But I've done the same like in the past when I wasn't making money, because I had the same, wrong mindset that, it's the thing, the program, the product, this guru will save me,
And the shiny object syndrome. Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, it's a killer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next question is a fun one then. What would your teachers at school say about the 10-year-old Noy?
Oh, wow. I was, what would I say?
Were you studious?
School,
Were you kind of like really, really clever at school? You've got three
I,
degrees, so you must have been.
yeah, exactly. That's I would say that school was pretty easy for me, but I was also quite bored in it because like it came everything apart maths came pretty easy to me. And then from year four in Israel, we've got 12 years of study. Um, from year four, I started having some problems with maths, and that was pretty much the only thing I had problem with. So yeah, my English is like doubtful, but sometimes,
That's
but
good.
because I like to tell the story flowery way as well. Um, Joking, but yeah, no, I mean, I just say I'm dedicated, I suppose, and you know I'm I don't know disciplined. Like if that's the right thing, I've got no idea. It's a good question. You touched me here. So, so.
Awesome, not to worry. Okay, are there any big influencers that you follow online, or is it people that mentor you that you're close to? Are you fans of like Gary V, Tony Robbins, all of those big influencers? And what do you love about their approach, or is it more close to home where it's smaller people, not necessarily the huge big influencers?
Yeah, good one. So I'm quite a self-development fan, just as whole, because I've done self-development and even led small group seminars in the UK and some in Israel as well. In 2012 and the end of 2015. So for like 4 years. So I am following general material from the big guys like Tony Robbins, Bob Proctor, Dick Miller, those kind of people.
Yeah,
I haven't taken a specific program from them because I was involved with others of another organization, which is not like an individual influencer or author, or rather like a body of people. But um, in the online space, uh, my mentors, essentially, but one guy that I like some of his stuff. I don't agree with everything he does, but I like his demeanor and I like some of his videos. Is Dan Lok. And I even took one of his trainings when I was still failing, like in August 2018.
right.
I was taking one of his programs. Um, and so I, but closing, like closing wasn't really for me because I kind of like the combination of like a bit technical, with funnels and stuff,
Yeah,
video. I didn't quite connect to it. So like, I do have absolute the utmost regard to it, but I even work these days with a closer, um, or on creating new projects to scale up things further. So I go to that level that I'm, looking like, and there's still so much more to learn. So I'm not saying I know everything, but like, yeah, Dan Lok has a lot of concepts as well. I know there's a lot of criticism and it's like money working machine that like, yeah, he's obviously very rich, but he's got some awesome videos about like foundations of marketing and mindset. And if you guys haven't checked him out, um, I'll definitely recommend like watching some of his videos. Yeah.
nice. Okay, so this group is all about, it's called the Business Growth Hub, and it's about traffic, leads, conversions, that kind of thing. Have you got any traffic strategies? Because you're getting some absolutely insane engagement on your Facebook posts now. Have you got some strategies that you want to share with my group that you can teach them something on the stuff that works for you? Because the engagement's going through the roof on your posts.
Yeah, I'm laughing because I learned something new yesterday. So I basically do probably 80%, 80 to 20 organic. So the 20 is paid,
Right.
and the paid is mostly solo ads. Before I get to paid, I do solo ads and I do ringless voice drops, and I actually start doing more SMS um, like like a bulk basis as well, but that's kind of like new to me, so I cannot really report results on that. Um, and yeah, and I sometimes I follow up with people. I do a bit of extra, which it helps. Like, sometimes I'll ring people up if you've got their numbers or a text, stuff like that. And, occasionally you will get fuck off,
Yeah.
or but it's part of the deal,
Yeah.
like some people subscribe to stuff, they don't even know what they did or who they did, when they did. Like maybe it's not even them, maybe it's their partner, so,
Yeah.
um, yeah. And organic, yeah, I learn all the time. Like Facebook, the Zook, I like to call him. He changes the algorithm recently, like 2 months ago. So a lot of things that I did and thought before, I wouldn't say went to the drain, but like had to alter and create like a new strategy. So I researched some people that are doing well in the online space, like people that are not different to you and I, as
Yeah.
in not like Tony Robbins or Frank Kern or that, like, just people that I saw consistently, like, okay, it drops for a lot of people that are for me and people I spoke to, but they are getting 500. What are they doing? So I went and researched that, what they are doing. And I spoke to some of them as well. Um, and I basically created a new strategy and I shared it with my people as well. Um, and I gave it like a test and it's working pretty well. The caveat to that, Facebook always like throwing like a curveball at you. Like
Absolutely.
the post I posted yesterday, what I did yesterday, I know that sharing other people's posts, like, share a post in from someone else to your wall is a big no-no because shared posts get the least engagement. So I'll just give a tip, like lives, Facebook lives get the most engagement. The quotes either with background or with white regular background, like I say, no background, they're second, yeah. Then pictures, and then videos. It used to be videos at the top, especially before live. Videos are kind of like dropped to be the fourth in the hierarchy. Shared posts, there's also like subcategories and all sorts, but shared posts are like the very bottom of the bottom of the bottom. What I did yesterday, and it really screwed my algorithm. So like I had to work like building up again like within a
Yeah.
day. What I'm still doing. I took a screenshot of your post announcing this talk, and you are mentioning me, and I never did a screenshot like that. I, I now with Facebook, it's hard to know sometimes. Oh, you've done that. That definitely what happened, and it's because of that. But I am 99% certain that Facebook absolutely hates images with a lot of text that look like basically a post. Because and I was heavily penalized for that. Like there was almost it was critics. Like so I learned an important lesson literally 24 hours ago around when I did that. And that post was and it's nothing to do with you or anything, pretty much to do with the fact that the algorithm will consider it as a shared post when you
Right.
took a picture of someone else's post, whatever the reason for that is. Like, even if they spoke about you. So because it's quite wordy and your name was at the top, and again, doesn't matter who you be. So no offense, right? Like I learned an important lesson that this is not something you can do. And as a result, today, when I posted the first time, like I wanted to post today because I didn't want the one with the lower engagement to be on top. And I had like a great idea for a post. I said, okay, I'll go for it. I had to do a very long warm up process, like longer
Yeah.
than usual, to bring it to, and it's still not at the same level than it was like even 2 days before.
Yeah.
So the Zook will stack you for the slightest things. So, but it's all repairable if you're following like the plan. So there will be some like occasional drops or flops and stuff like that. But I've been getting 100 plus, 200 plus, 300 plus, even like
Yeah.
500 when I posted about my dad's birthday in May. He's 80. With him a really colorful picture. So but I'm learning stuff all the time. You always need to like evolve the algorithm. You always need to learn from mistakes, but not like a mistake that you did intentionally or that looks like a mistake. You kind of need to accept it that it's ever evolving and occasionally you will have to make tweaks. Um,
Yeah.
and probably
It's all
too
about
much.
testing, isn't it? It's testing what works, and if it doesn't work, then you don't do it again. And like
Yeah.
you said, if it fits in with your plan of your posting plan, then it should be fine. But every now and then there are certain things that just don't work, and you start
Absolutely.
again. And and like you said as well, it's really key that Mark Zuckerberg thinks this is a game, and he will play the game so that the posts that get the most engagement help the platform. That's the idea of it. They want to keep people on the platform. So they're the posts that will show up the most. So amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. I really appreciate that. And so the next question is, my next course that I'm going to release, I'm hoping in August, but I'm really falling behind the times at the moment. So is about branding. And we're all a brand, so I think it's really critical. We talk about marketing, we talk about sales, but we don't talk about ourselves as a brand. So that's why I'm focusing on that. So I'm not a brand expert, but I'm diving into it now. So I know a hell of a lot more than I did, and really key strategies now for building a brand. Have you learned any major skills? Have you taught yourself? You've done a lot of training over the years, and is it traffic? Is it marketing? What kind of stuff have you learned? I think you alluded to it before. It's made some of the conversion type stuff, but what skill sets have you had to learn to become better at being in the online space?
So I started off with solo ads and how to create like quiz pages and then send into an offer. So the technical aspect of like how to set it up. And also how to choose the offer and how to write a better headline. And when you begin, if you pick up the right person, there will be examples, there will be guidance. You know, you don't have to go, because everything that you want and everything that's been ever taught is out there. Like there are courses in many various forms, but it's all out there. So there's nothing like that is like groundbreaking, like never been tried before. Like there will be stuff. I don't mean like, you know, when people create a TikTok, for example. Obviously, TikTok is a new platform. There's never been TikTok before. That's not what I mean. I mean, there's a lot of trainings about, you know, reach pages, capture pages, like how to choose the offer for Warrior Plus, which is the platform I started with. And you know, made a lot of money with, and email marketing, because that was all the follow-ups that you get from the leads you're collecting using the solo ads. So that's like the main thing I learned. And then I moved into a more sophisticated email marketing with Wayne Crow. He is considered to be one of my 3 mentors, or I will consider him. We've been on many calls like together, less so recently, but especially from September last year to around April. I even done a call with him while in Kyrgyzstan on a sofa, like late at night my time. You know, we did a webinar for interviewing me on one of the programs. So yeah, that was kind of like building the foundation of more advanced email marketing, but I had to go through the basic stuff first. And then I moved into, I'm still doing email marketing. There's always like a challenge. Like for that, I saw a platform a couple of times. I try to extract the knowledge of other people in that know a lot better than me. Because while I can do technical stuff, because I was in IT and as I say, I was like a database developer, so I love data. But I'm sort of, when it gets very technical, it gets me really angry. So that's pretty much why I left that industry, because I don't. If it gets you really angry, like what's the point? Like, you want to, if I stayed in that, I would be the angriest person all the time, because you know I wasn't fulfilled, so I was angry all the time. Like what would, you know, why would someone need one that is grumpy all the time? You know. So I moved to around September, before I was traveling, and but especially after, when I settled in New Zealand, end of November, I started strong on Facebook organic marketing, and that is definitely like the biggest skill I had to learn. And it took, things started moving I broke even in my 6 month. But I only broke even when I moved to high ticket. I was making money, but like because I was also spending money because it was solo ads. That only once I moved to organic and I started making high ticket sales, then when I broke even, and then when I lifted like the glass ceiling, I suppose.
Right.
And then things started accelerating in a faster pace. Results and all that.
Nice. Awesome. Okay, so next question is another fun one then. You love to travel and you've been a lot of places. Do you have a favorite place or a favorite country that you visited?
I've been to 51 countries. Wow. Best city I visited abroad, because for me abroad is everywhere apart Israel, because that's a very
nice.
In the world, let's say. Sarajevo in Bosnia. That's like considered the wow, like, because I just love the it's a bit Turkish because it was built by the Ottomans, and there's a lot of like history there because of the war in the 90s, and there's been horrible stuff happening there. So it's both like touching, chilling, and beautiful at the same time. And you've got like really like historical places on the side of like newer structures, alongside a really old market that looks like Tudor, like not Tudor like Tudor England, well, it's not really Tudor because it's like Ottoman style, but like it's kind of like very old, like so the houses are kind of like wooden and like nicely decorated in the market, and it's amazing, and
nice.
Just love that place.
It's on my list. I've got to make that one of my countries as well. I've visited 52 countries, so very similar there. So
wow. Okay, I've got to. Israel, well, at the moment I cannot travel any country because we were supposed to be. We didn't have it booked because COVID-19 interrupted the plans.
Right.
So as soon as we can, Australia is probably first because we wanted originally March. We are hoping for March next year, but it depends on how things go. If not, Melbourne as soon as.
Nice. We've got to keep in a race now against each other. Okay, so next
keep me updated with your count.
The next question is, you've got some amazing influence now and engagement on Facebook. There's obviously a lot of other platforms out there. Like you, I think our major focus is Facebook. I am on YouTube, I am on Instagram, I am on Twitter, but not actively on them. So
because a lot of people are already on Facebook, and we're already on Facebook, and they had a lot of people that they love and appreciate on Facebook. However, at the same time, a lot of people are stopped by the fact that they don't want to be marketing and like they want a different account or that. But the goal is to be yourself. If you are being yourself, you are not marketing. You are being yourself. And because to be successful, the brand need to be you, not your company, like not your opportunity, not your this $5 product or this $2,000 product. So you can be successful to some degree if you are not playing that, but you will never reach that success that you will never reach your top potential, and 99% of people will struggle if they don't present themselves as the business. And other platforms, like I told you when you told me Matty told me some of the things he might be asking. So I said, I am on YouTube, but I'm not even close to what I'm doing on Facebook. I learned actually something new today, like a way to help with the ranking. I haven't tried it on YouTube yet, because literally I learned it hours ago. My main things are, so I am on YouTube with about 100 subscribers. I don't post there as regularly. I would say the difference, it's kind of for me, it was the order of which that I learned that in the path I took, because that was the first. Maybe it sounds a bit odd. So I didn't because using the guidance I was getting, I didn't originally choose the platform. I like Jason Fulton is speaking like about YouTube, so I done some videos about that. And I at the start I was quite shy in front of the camera and that kind of thing, and I wouldn't do lives and all that, and even reviews was like a bother to do. And so I probably could have done like a lot more on YouTube. So I didn't quite connect to it on the same level as I connected to Facebook. And then when I started building Facebook and then I started doing lives, I started developing more, then I have more material to there that I can put on YouTube as well.
Yeah.
As you can see, my camera is by far not like the best, but I've taken videos outside, walking nice places, much nicer than this. Um, so, and when I noticed that the stories on Instagram are actually have more features. So I linked Instagram to Facebook, and I now post majority of my stories through Instagram to Facebook automatically.
Nice.
Because I think it depends on the country you're in. Because my Facebook has in the Messenger has less features. Like I don't have GIFs. Like many
Right.
people on using the same app, the same version, I have the newest. They have GIFs. I don't. Like so. But if I use Instagram for that, perfect. I have all the features that I want. So I do it like that. And I started doing so my main Facebook and Instagram. And because I didn't want to just put stories on Instagram, I started occasionally posts on Instagram. Pretty much same stuff I do on Facebook, just like more hashtaggy things. But the only one that I have like actually specialized knowledge in is Facebook. So to be honest, so LinkedIn is also something that I started getting on more, and I've been getting a couple of leads from that. I would say that the way I use them, I use Facebook and I use content for some of the others, kind of like regurgitating it. Like,
right.
as in, I don't have to create it brand newly because most of the content that I put on Facebook will valid for the others. But my advice for people that are listening to this is you first have got to master one before, because you will create such havoc and confusion for yourself if you just try to learn them all at the same time. So the only reason I opened up to others is because I reach a certain level with Facebook. And like you heard before, Duke gives me the slap every once and again, and I learned other stuff. So like sometimes the slap means that I need to go and improve my Facebook game more and more, and then I will put my attention on Facebook, even if it's at the price of one day, 2 days, 3 days, no posting of the others, because Facebook is still my main one.
Yeah, nice. Okay, we've got one more question left, and that is the end of the interview. But yeah, I really appreciate your time today. And anybody that's watching, give us a hashtag replay if you're seeing some golden nuggets in there. There's a lot of traffic things that Noy talked about that I really wanted to pick up on, and I'll rewatch this and try some of this and test some of this myself as well now. So awesome, yeah. Has the coronavirus affected you, apart from the travel restrictions, obviously, financially working online? Has it kind of knocked the sales, or has it given people the impetus now to look at new business and online marketing and business and affiliate marketing as a new opportunity? What have you found so far?
There's been a big boom in marketers' favor because of people looking. So as long as you know and learn and keep like updating your skill set and your mindset, and for everyone follow me, I'm big on mindset. You will have benefited from that if you can get your mind to it and like learn the skill. COVID, like, and I'm not saying it in a cynical way because it's a horrible thing and people died and that, like, that has made a lot of people understand that, like, oh, screw that, even if I have a job and I'm still lucky to be alive, like, I need like a backup plan. I need something else. Or some people lost the job in the shop and, lost the businesses and stuff. So it's no joke. So, but it definitely moved business and online business in the past, in favor of online business.
That's good to know. That is amazing. Well, that is the end of it, and it's gone so quickly. I was really intent on listening to your story, and then all of the background and what you've been doing, and you're getting some great traction on Facebook. I really appreciate you taking the time out for the interview. How can people reach you online? Where's the best place to find you?
Yeah, best place. We'll put my profile. It might be automatic, but we'll put a link to my profile. That's like the best way because I'm on Facebook like a lot, like because that's like my main thing. And also freedomlifestylecreation.com, which is one of my brand names. So it's all like in one long word.
Right.
So if you want, like it's up to you. It's your group. If you want, you can put that in the comments as well. Yeah,
Yeah, will do.
so they can check out what I do and also reach my Facebook through there as well.
Nice. Really appreciate that, Noise. Thank you so much. And yeah, nearly bedtime for you now. So appreciate the time, and I'll catch up with you really soon.
Yeah, pleasure, Martin, and thanks
Thanks ever
everyone
so
for tuning
much.
in. Yeah, cheers, guys.
Thanks.
Bye.
Take
Bye.
care. Bye.
Bye.